Under clam chowder colored skies here in Boston, it's time for Braves baseball. We join you for the third and final time from historic Fenway Park as the Braves try to avoid a 3-game sweep at the hands of the surging Boston Red Sox. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome back to Boston, where we've got a real treat today. As they might say around these parts, it might be wicked hard to get a base hit against Mike Foltynewicz and Chris Sale, two flamethrowers going in the finale, and Mike Foltynewicz continuing, we hope, his good work on the road today.
The Braves need Mike to really have an exceptional outing because of his draw today on his opponent in Chris Sale. But Mike Foltynewicz has pitched real well on the road this year. In fact, his last 3 starts on the road have been exceptional. You're seeing some work here against the Philadelphia Phillies last time out, but he got shut out in that game. That was due to no fault of his own. There are the numbers for the 3 starts: an 0.56 ERA, 9 walks, 19 strikeouts in 16 innings, and overall in 5 starts, good numbers. But he's going to need some help today.
Because Chris Sale is a #1 starter. The Braves hoping to develop theirs. The Red Sox traded for Chris Sale. They gave up a king's ransom, and boy, they're getting their money's worth.
The Braves would take a 50% off sale today because that might give them a chance. This guy is so good. He's got really good fastball, lively fastball, 90 to 97 with that wicked hot slider. And his numbers match up across the league: ERA, opponent's average, strikeouts, innings. It all adds up to an all-star pitcher and a guy who's at the top of the heap for the Boston Red Sox in their rotation.
Well, let's hope the Braves can wrap up this road trip with a victory. It's been a tough trip to Philadelphia and Boston. Atlanta starts play a half game behind the Phillies in second place in the National League East. Hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate. Hopefully Chris Sale and the Red Sox will cooperate. We wrap up the series at Fenway Park with first pitch and lineups right after the break. Back in Boston at Fenway Park, Braves and Red Sox wrap up this weekend series. Another big crowd gathered on a chilly afternoon. It's 55 degrees. What a difference on Sunday as compared to Saturday, and hopefully the score will be different for the Braves, who turn to Mike Foltynewicz in the hopes of salvaging 1 game out of 3 against the now Eastern leading Red Sox, who have a 2-game advantage over the New York Yankees. Won't be easy for Mike. Braves have to tangle with Chris Sale. He's been on a great roll, winning his last 4 games, or 4 decisions, I should say, in a row. A look at the Braves Toyota starting lineup. Ozzie Albies will lead off at second base. Ronald Acuña had 3 hits in his last 3 at-bats yesterday, including a home run off Craig Kimbrell in the 9th inning. Freddie Freeman, Nick Markakis, the dynamic duo, 3rd and 4th. Kurt Suzuki, Ender Inciarte, Tyler Flowers, who used to catch Chris Sale with the White Sox, will be behind the plate. Dansby Swanson at shortstop, and Charlie Culberson gets the start. He'll play third base and bat in the number 9 spot. Atlanta lost yesterday by a final score of 8-6. The Phillies were winners at home over Toronto, and Joe, for the first time since May the 2nd, the Braves find themselves out of first place in the National League East.
Almost the whole month of May in first place until today, and chance to get right back in there if they win and the Phillies lose, of course. But the entire National League East is tightening up a little bit because Washington's playing better baseball than they were early in the season. They're hoping to get a couple of their players back pretty soon too, who will make them a lot better ball club than they've been.
Yeah, including Daniel Murphy, who's begun a rehab assignment coming back from microfracture knee surgery. And as you see, 3.5 games separates first from fourth. And the Braves are going to see the Mets for 4 games, including a doubleheader tomorrow. Then the Nationals come to town, and then Atlanta heads west on a long West Coast road trip. So the schedule has not been an easy thing for Atlanta, but still an awful lot to be excited and optimistic about as they face off with this Red Sox club, Joe, a team that when Atlanta got to town wanted to see, well, how do they measure up with Boston? I think it's safe to say we know Atlanta can play with the Red Sox. The question now is, will they find a way to beat them in Game 3 today?
Yeah, they got beat 6-2. They took the 2-0 lead in Game 1 of that series and couldn't extend it, and led yesterday. They got on top early but lost 8-6. So it's not like they've been blown out. It's not like they haven't been competitive. Today figures to be a low-scoring game on both sides with these two guys going at it. It'll be fun to watch.
Unless you're a hitter, as you said in the post-game comments yesterday. I don't think anybody wants to face Chris Sale right now, a man that is a #1 starting pitcher, top of the rotation guy, and for whom the Red Sox paid a king's ransom to the White Sox. And Sale has delivered to the tune of a 5-1 record this year, Joe, and a sparkling 2-point ERA.
He's outstanding, Chip. He's 28 years old. He's long and lean, 6'6", 180 out of Lakeland, Florida. He was a first-round pick by the White Sox in 2010 out of Florida Gulf Coast College. And he's just flat out good. He struck out over 300 guys last year in a little over 200 innings. So he averages better than a strikeout per inning. He's coming off a start against Tampa Bay where he pitched into the 8th inning, gave up 1 run, earned run, walked 2, struck out 9. If he has an Achilles, it might be the long ball. He's given up 8 home runs compared to 5 that Folty's allowed. So there's something about that slider perhaps that lingers over the plate a little bit for right-handed hitters. We'll find out today.
Something else the Red Sox folks told me about Sale is sometimes he'll try to sneak a trick pitch over on the first pitch and it gets ambushed. Willie Adames for Tampa Bay got an 86-mile-an-hour changeup that Sale thought, well, I'll just try to sneak this by the rookie. He hit it out of the park in Tampa Bay for his first home run. So we know how aggressively the Braves like to swing early in the count. Maybe they can take advantage of that today.
And you know that you can't set up and trick rookies. They're just up there wailing away. So maybe he'll try the same thing today on Albies and Acuña and a couple of the other young guys in the Braves order. We'll see.
Alex Cora has a very good Boston ball club. The Red Sox 20 games over 500 and 17-7 here at Fenway Park. And it will be Ozzie Albies leading off for Atlanta. 14 home runs for Ozzie. 9 of his 14 homers have come in day games. Let's see what happens here in the first inning as Chris Sale gets ready for his first pitch on a cold, gray, windy afternoon in Boston. And a blazing fastball right on by at 95 miles an hour.
'90 to 97, depending on 2-seamer or 4-seamer. Great slider changeup.
And there was the slider that just missed. Albies 1 for 8 in this series. Showed bunt, took a strike.
'70 2/3 innings for Sale. Only 47 hits allowed. 187 average against.
Another hard thrower with that modified windup, which worked beautifully. As Albies is down on 96-mile-an-hour heat. 1 up, 1 down for Sale. 97 strikeouts for him.
That's the first strikeout for Ozzie in this series.
Garrett Cole is the American League strikeout leader. He's got 101 of them. Here's Acuña, 3 for his last 3. And a milestone game for Acuña yesterday. His first game, Joe, in 17 in which he did not strike out.
That's a bonus and a step in the right direction for sure. The Braves 49 strikeouts on this road trip in 5 games. They're no longer the team with the fewest strikeouts. The Pirates have taken over that distinction. The Braves are second.
Sale works at warp speed, and that's fouled away at the plate.
Yeah, he does. He's very fast.
Well, he truly is a rarity in today's game. There were only 14 men that threw over 200 innings as a starting pitcher in the big leagues last year, and Sale threw the most innings of anyone. 214 1/3. And he won 17 games. This is what a #1, top of the rotation, ace starting pitcher looks like and does. Two up, two down via the swing and a miss.
Top of the zone. Just like Albies. And it actually almost climbs the ladder. It goes uphill from that arm angle up to that slot.
So here's Freddie. He's 3 for 8 in the series. And Freeman takes ball 1. There are a few Braves that have seen Sale. Freeman's one of them. He's 1 for 3. That hit a home run. It just missed.
2 years ago, the Braves really crushed him. Only time he's ever pitched against Atlanta while he was in Chicago. 5 innings, 10 hits, 8 runs.
Nick Markakis waits on deck. He too has seen Sale and has enjoyed the experience. The 3-0 pitch. That's called a strike.
That's the other thing. He's got a career 5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio too.
And he's battled back from a 3-0 count. It's now 3-2. Freddie asking if that pitch would have been called a strike. The answer was yes. Sale ready with his 3-2 offering to Freddie Freeman. And it's roped into right field and right at Jackie Bradley Jr. Hard hit ball by Freeman at 98 miles an hour, but Sale a 1-2-3 top of the first. Fenway Park. There is hardly another more picturesque place than the place they call America's most beloved ballpark, built in 1912. And Mike Foltynewicz will be a part of history, we hope, as he tries to continue his great work away from SunTrust Park.
Well, it's outstanding. His last 4, a 1.66 ERA. And coming off a start against Philadelphia where he got shut out 3-0. He pitched well and deserved a little better. His Ford keys match up. See how you do against arguably the best left-hander in the game today, and step up. The Braves need him to throw a good game and pick up a win before they head home. They are 1-4 on this road trip.
Like Sale, Mike Foltynewicz can throw very hard. Unlike Sale, Mike does not have pinpoint control from time to time. And he's fallen behind Andrew Benintendi leading off. Red Sox made a very late lineup change. Their original starting 9 had Mookie Betts leading off, but Betts out with a left side tightness issue. And Benintendi strokes one to right. Acuña got a good jump, and he makes the waist-high catch, and that's out number 1. So after Betts was scratched, everybody for the Red Sox 1 through 6 moves up one place on the lineup card. Blake Swihart will get the start in left field. Sandy Leon is behind the plate, and Jackie Bradley Jr. moves from center field to right field. Bradley's already made a nice catch here in the first inning.
One of those days where you're really glad you do your lineup in pencil.
Here's Xander Bogaerts, the Boston shortstop, hitting .286. Popped up on a play, and the count even 1-1. Mike has pitched against the Red Sox before. Those appearances are relief appearances. Kelsey has a funny story on Mike's relief work against Boston in the early days of his career. She'll share that with us in a little while. As he turns this one loose, even count. And call a strike, 1-2. Swing and a miss. A line out and a strikeout. So far, Mike is matching up with Chris Sale. 2 up, 2 down.
Good breaking ball here. Down the bottom of the zone. Good start. Nice slider.
Mitch Moreland is the hitter. 2 outs, bases empty for the Red Sox, who made big news before Game 1 when they designated Hanley Ramirez for assignment. Moreland will be the beneficiary of that, and that he'll get to play first base. He's a Gold Glover, and he is on a real hitting tear. 4 hits in this series, and batting .360 after an 0 for 12 start at the plate to begin the year.
And his at-bats were a little sporadic. Double, triple homer in this series.
Fly ball hammered toward left center. And at the warning track, Ender makes the play. The wind might have knocked that down. And Foltynewicz has a 1-2-3 of his own. We go to the second, no score. Fenway Park in the second. Nick Markakis, Kurt Suzuki, and Ender Inciarte are coming up to face the Red Sox' Chris Sale. And Nick Markakis continues his good work in this series, and on the road trip, he's our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Yeah, still leading the league in hitting and in hits and in multi-hit games. And the lowest strikeout percentage, 1 every 10.7 at bats. He has struck out only once in this series, and an 8-game hitting streak working.
Nick has seen Sale as much as anybody in the Braves lineup. He's 5 for 14 against him. And had him backing away from that slider at 75 miles an hour. What a tough pitch for a lefty to try to hit.
Especially the first pitch of an at bat when you're up there kind of geared up to the 95. And he throws a pitch at you.
Well, I was going to say, you saw that tracer angle. It looked like it was going to hit him right in the middle of the back. And then spun back over a corner. Tried it again, but missed badly that time. 2 balls and a strike. Mentioned the King's ransom that the Red Sox sent to the White Sox to acquire Chris Sale. Juan Moncada, the second baseman who's hit 7 homers this year at the big league level. Luis Alexander Busabe, Victor Diaz, and Michael Kopech, who's a kid that can throw over 100 miles an hour. The Red Sox in a different place than the White Sox. Boston's trying to win a World Series now. The White Sox rebuilding. And that one's hammered down the left field line. Did he keep it fair? He couldn't. It's into the seats foul. 3-2.
Red Sox won the National League, American League East last year and played Houston in the division series, and they roughed Sale up pretty good. 1 start, 1 relief appearance. They worked him over.
Pop fly foul, and that'll ricochet to the lower bowl. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
You mentioned that last out to end the first inning that Moreland hit. Yeah, I think the wind's blowing in hard enough that it'll knock some balls down headed that way.
And another walk for Markakis. He has been so good this year. Lefty righty doesn't matter. The toughest guy to strike out in the National League is the first Atlanta base runner on a rare Chris Sale walk. And now Kurt Suzuki's the batter. Kurt's 8 for 25 against Sale. And hitting .250 for the year. Ball 1.
Kurt had a double in this, has a double in this series, but not a good road trip. 2 for 17. So he's cooled off like a lot of other bats in the lineup.
Lined over short. There's the first Atlanta hit. So the Braves have 2 on, nobody out.
That'll help him get going. He's also had some tough luck. He's also, we've seen his reaction to some pop-ups that he's hit where he's just missed pitches. But on that one, looked like a changeup.
So there goes the no-hitter for Sale. 2 on, nobody out for Ender.
Good start to the inning.
Need to get Ender going against the lefties. Mentioned last night, Ender hit .291 against him last year. He's hitting .200 against southpaws this year. A bunt popped up right to the third baseman, Nunez. No advance, 1 out.
Brian Snitker with a good bunter up there and a tough lefty on the mound for Ender. chose to try to move the runners up, and yet the good bunter popped it up.
So Tyler Flowers will be the hitter. This will be a fun matchup. Former battery mates with the White Sox. One would think Tyler would have the best idea of all the Braves hitters of what Sale's going to try to do. He's 2 for 2 against his former teammate with a homer. And I would guess from Sale's standpoint, no matter how good his stuff is, this kind of has to be an uncomfortable sequence because he and Flowers worked together for so long, formulating a game plan.
Thinking right along with him. Tyler, you would think Tyler would be able to do that.
.96 on the black is a great equalizer. It's 0-2. Braves are 4 for 16 with runners in scoring position in this series. Ender 0 for 1 today. The pitch. High fly ball walloped. And Tyler Flowers with a 3-run homer gives Atlanta the lead.
Oh, goodness. That went over the monster seats. So yeah, maybe he was thinking right along with him. What do you think?
Woo. A heat-seeking missile over the wall. 3-0 Atlanta.
Sale knew it, and the fans couldn't reach it. Bang. Here we go, Mike Foltynewicz.
And that's an excellent point. It's not so often how Mike has pitched, but when he's pitched. One of the poorest supported starting pitchers as far as runs go. He's got 3 to play with here in the second as Tyler Flowers hits a 3-run homer with 1 out in the second inning. And now Dansby Swanson the hitter and Sale behind 2-0.
Like I said, a bit of an Achilles heel for Sale. That's the 9th homer he's allowed this year. The last 3 seasons in a row, he's given up 23 homers, 27 and 24.
Two balls and a strike. Well, in fairness, the White Sox home park is a great hitter's paradise. And left-handed pitchers at Fenway Park are prone to give them up here at the Monster. As he got a generous call there.
Sure did.
2-2. And that scatters everybody in the Braves dugout. Kevin Seitzer wore one. Swing and a miss for Swanson. 3rd strikeout for Sale.
'97 again, kind of a rising fastball. That fastball gets in on right-handed hitters so quickly, and it was a great job by Tyler to greet it out front, not let it get in on him.
Charlie Culberson gets a chance to play today, batting .200, 2 RBIs. This has got to be the toughest job in baseball. If you're a guy like Flaherty or a guy like Culberson, have to be ready to play every day. And then when you get a chance to go, you got to face arguably the best left-hander in the game.
I remember that happening to me a time or two. I remember once the Dodgers were playing the Mets and Tom Seaver was pitching and one of the outfielders got a bellyache.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I was in there.
And a swing and a miss. Sale with 4 strikeouts, but Tyler Flowers, his former mate with the White Sox, greets him rudely. A 3-run homer. A long homer over the Green Monster. 3-0 Atlanta.
The bottom of the second inning. You heard Chip talk about it earlier. This is not Fultzy's first time pitching here at Fenway Park. He came out of the bullpen here in 2014 with the Astros. He comes up, bases are loaded. Dustin Pedroia at the plate. 3-2 count, and Pedroia sends one down the line. Right after that, the pitching coach walks up to Fultzy, looks him dead in the eye with a smirk on his face and said, "Well, how'd that feel?" The crowd is still going crazy, and Fultzy doesn't even know how to respond to that. And the coach was like, "Yeah, how'd that feel? Feel good, right?" This is what it's all about. David Ortiz next. Go get him, kid. And walked off the mound and let Fultzy go at Big Papi.
Well, he's hoping to have a much better experience this time with the Braves, as Dustin Pedroia leads off the second inning, his second game back in the lineup for the Red Sox after missing almost the entire first 2 months coming back from knee surgery. Pedroia 0 for 4 so far, and takes a strike.
Mike did not have a 1-2-3 inning in Philadelphia in his last start. He's already got one today. He would like to, after getting 3 runs, have a quick shutdown inning here in the second.
But not a good way to start. Pedroia walks, and Rafael Devers is coming up.
Just missed. This ballpark, though, is like others. It's like Wrigley. It's like Coors Field. They're going to hit enough. Don't give them extra base runners by walking a lot of guys.
Yeah, the Braves have scored first and led in each of the first 3 games here at Fenway Park, but haven't been able to hold the lead. Led 2-0 in game 1. Led 3-0 yesterday. They lead 3-0 today. Thanks to Flowers' home run. Devers down a strike. He's the DH. Pitch, strike, called 0-2.
Got a gift there. As we saw in game 1 when Devers played, he's not taking 2 and going to left. He's going to be trying to yank. Big swing. Strikes out a lot.
53 strikeouts for Devers, 11 walks. Fult's got him set up 0-2.
Devers is just 21 years old.
Well, that's what has Boston fans so excited. They have a terrific young athletic core just like the Braves. And they have the ability with all these sellouts at Fenway Park come deadline time to go get whatever they want. Swing and a miss. Devers almost came out of his shoes. He swung so hard, and Foltynewicz has his second strikeout.
Nice pitch. And he was losing his balance and skidding around a little bit. We've not had any rain here, but there is some in the forecast for later in the afternoon.
Those early runs and hopefully 5 innings will be in the offing for the Braves today with the lead. Here's Nunez. Well, Mike is crisp here at Fenway. A lot of first pitch strikes. 21 total pitches, 12 strikes. Here comes some high heat.
Yeah, that'll warm you up.
Nunez sprays one to the right side and into the club seats. 1-2.
Several high targets from Tyler already. That one wasn't quite as high as Tyler wanted it, but Nunez couldn't do anything with it. Love his chest protector.
Apropos on this Memorial Day holiday weekend, the pitch is upstairs. 2-2. Braves and Red Sox wearing the olive green caps. And strike 3 right down Lansdowne Street. Nunez takes strike 3. That's 3 strikeouts for Foltynewicz.
He looks sharp. He's got a good slider, good fastball, a lot of life to it. Just missed on that walk to Pedroia, but everything else looks sharp.
Words out in the Boston dugout. Foltynewicz is bringing it. Here's Swihart. 1 ball, no strikes. When Hanley Ramirez was let go, it was thought the decision was either Swihart or Ramirez. Red Sox like this kid. He's been hurt the last 2 years. I think he can still be a real good major league player. Just hasn't been healthy enough for Boston to get an extended look at it. And so the Red Sox, after letting Hanley go, now have $45 million in sunk costs to Rusney Castillo, Pablo Sandoval, and Hanley Ramirez, who was designated for assignment. And I would guess would land someplace in the major leagues.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will pick him up.
Up and away. 3-0.
Red Sox would like somebody to come calling within the 10-day period where they can make a trade and then dump all that contract onto someone else, but that's not likely to happen.
Three and 1 the count to Blake Swihart, who's getting the start in left.
Yeah, late addition to the lineup.
Mike got some help there. That was well off the plate. And now it's a full count. Dustin Pedroia, who walked to start the inning, will get a head start. There he goes, the pitch. Just missed at 98. Wow, that was close. But called a ball, and the Red Sox have 2 on for León.
Tyler held it there. That was a better pitch than what he called a strike a little earlier this inning.
So Sandy León's the hitter, batting .233. Something else different for Mike. His misses today aren't gross misses. I mean, they're close enough to get some swings and misses, which has been a problem from time to time this year. Get around the plate. Good curveball has León behind in the count. Strike 1.
Good first pitch.
Lifted to the left side. Late swing. 0-2. What a difference Fenway Park today compared to yesterday. Everyone in shirt sleeves, shorts. Beautiful summer afternoon. It felt like today, well, April or October weather.
Yeah, it's a big flip. Guys are drinking beer and eating hot dogs yesterday. Today it's going to be hot chocolate and chata.
See if Mike can finish off León and the inning here. The pitch is tapped foul. In San Francisco, they have the concessionaires walking up and down the aisles with the hot chocolate dispensers on their back. Do they have the same with the chowder here? Do you imagine just
funnel it?
Hand them a cup and a funnel and get after it. Oh-2. Again popped up left side. Culberson gives chase near the netting. And no play. Big sports day in Boston today. The Braves and Red Sox this afternoon. The Celtics play tonight. Game 7 of the NBA Conference Finals at the New Garden. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, both basketball playoffs are going to Game 7, right?
Correct. Take care of business right here with León. He did. He struck out the side. A couple of walks mixed in the second inning. Foltynewicz preserves a 3-0 lead after 2.
Times that you just want to cross off the bucket list because of all of the history they have here. I'm sitting here at another place. We showed you the Green Monster. Well, this is Pesky's Pole. So I'm 302 feet from home plate. This is named after Johnny Pesky, who played here in the 40s and the 50s. But the funny part of this is that he only had 17 career home runs. So he wasn't hitting a lot of home runs over here. He actually only had 6 here at Fenway Park. But the story goes that former player and broadcaster Mel Parnell named this pole after him, and you guys, it just stuck. But it's just like the Green Monster, a lot of signatures on it. They do paint it over, and they renovated it recently in 2017. But another staple thing here at Fenway Park.
Yeah, Johnny Pesky was a terrific player in his day and a wonderful ambassador, Kelsey, for the Boston Red Sox. He was the first American League player to score 6 runs in a 9-inning game. He led the American League in hits 3 times. Those were his first 3 years in the majors. He collected over 200 hits in each year and was in the top 10 in on-base percentage 6 times. He was also a man that missed 3 years of major league action due to his service during World War II. And a beloved figure in Red Sox lore.
Longtime coach, too. Great coach for them.
Ozzie Albies gets his second look at Chris Sale here in the 3rd inning. Albies struck out to start the game. That's hammered over the protective netting into the seats to the left side, and it's 2-2.
If you look at Sale's numbers, first, second, third time through the order, it's obvious that you better get on him early because he just keeps getting better and better, tougher and tougher. We'll see if that happens today.
Ozzie chased that one well off the plate, and he is down on strikes twice. That's already 5 strikeouts for Sale. He's off to a flying start here in the Atlanta 3rd.
Ozzie had a great at bat. Boy, he was having some good swings at pitches. He pulled that slider into the seats and then chased a bad one.
Acuña struck out in the Atlanta 1st. 1 ball, no strikes.
He has struck out 4 times in this series. So has Swanson.
Raised to corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm really surprised that they're playing him with a shift to the left side because he's hit the ball so well to right field in this series.
And as hard as he's throwing, I would imagine you're going to get late swings from either the lefties or the righties, which would then make that right side a very inviting target.
Yeah.
But if you don't hit it, it doesn't matter where you play defensively, and that's been the problem so far, with the exception of Tyler Flowers and Kurt Suzuki.
Well, there was a 2-seamer there. This 2-seamer will be around 90, 91. That's the big hard slider at 81. You can see how much break there is on that thing too, coming from the angle that he releases the pitch.
That's tipped and caught. 6 strikeouts for Sale, who is not featuring anything half off, as you suggested in our opening comments.
I was hoping for a 50% off Sale, but I didn't. I knew that was wishful thinking. Went upstairs to get Acuña.
He pitched Freeman very carefully. Freddie hit the ball hard and does so again. Pedroia surrounds it at second and makes a nice play. Nothing doing in the Atlanta 3rd. 3-0 Braves in Game 3 at Fenway. home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
That's the second best read of that promo in this series.
Jackie Bradley Jr. leads off and bangs one toward first. Freddie's there. He'll scoop it up, and there's the first out.
You know, it was interesting when they made this lineup change and put Swihart in. They put him in left field, but they didn't move Benintendi to right. They just moved him over to center, where he played yesterday, and moved Jackie Bradley Jr. to right. And that, I think, solidifies what we've been talking about. That right field is so difficult to play here that they put their best outfielder in right field and put Benintendi in center.
And it is Benintendi up there now. He lined out to Acuña, who is playing right field in this series for that very point. Younger, faster player at this stage in his career than Nick Markakis, who has had experience playing left. When Braves get home tomorrow and play the doubleheader with New York, one would assume Markakis will be back in right and Acuña in left. Don't forget, it is a day-night doubleheader tomorrow against the Mets. First pitch for Game 1, 1:05, 7:05 start time for Game 2. We will have them both for you here on Fox if you can't join us. Let's see if Mike can put away Benintendi. Didn't for that pitch.
Mets got walloped yesterday by Milwaukee. I don't know what kind of shape their bullpen's in after that, but a lot might depend on today.
I know Jacob deGrom is scheduled to start Game 1. The Mets have not announced their Game 2 starter yet. Steven Matz will pitch on Tuesday. Noah Syndergaard on Wednesday. Both clubs will have a chance, I believe, to call up a 26th man for the split doubleheader. We'll see who that is. Pitch. It missed. After an 0-2 start, Mike has run it full to Benintendi.
We've talked about this with Mike a lot, that he gets ahead early quite a few times and then takes him several pitches to put a hitter away. Many times because of that. There's foul balls and guys are battling him. And he's forced to make a better pitch than he might want to because it's a 3-2 count.
4 strikeouts, 2 walks for Foltynewicz. He leads 3-0. And here it is. And that one not close at all. So not a good sequence for Foltynewicz. He had Benintendi behind 0-2 and then walked him. As Joe suggested, with this part of the order coming up, they're going to score enough runs. You cannot help them in this park if you want to walk away with a win. Mike struck out Xander Bogaerts in the first inning. Double play ball. Ozzie turns it, and that takes care of Boston. Mike gets 2 for the price of 1. He cleans up the 1-out walk, and the Braves come up in the 4th inning leading 3-zip. by T-Mobile. It'll be great to get back to SunTrust Park tomorrow. Memorial Day, a day-night doubleheader between the Braves, Jacob deGrom, and the New York Mets.
Max Fried's going to get the call in the first game for Atlanta. Brandon McCarthy in game 2.
Mets haven't announced their starter for the nightcap. Braves haven't officially announced Tuesday's starter. Steven Matz will go for New York. That game starts at 7:35. Braves off to a good start today, leading Chris Sale 3-0. And lined out of play into the upper deck. Markakis walked and scored ahead of that home run from Tyler Flowers. The Mets are in Milwaukee again today, playing the Brewers, who've opened up a nice lead in the National League Central.
They've got the best record in the National League now.
33-20. They've won 8 of their last 10 games and are 4 games ahead of the Cardinals now. Pittsburgh also 4 back. The Cubs 4.5 back. The Mets, meanwhile, are 25-23. 3.5 games behind the Phillies.
There's one guy with the absence of Cespedes who's on the disabled list. Brandon Nimmo has done wonders for the Mets at the top of the order.
Bouncing ball over the mound. Pedroia got a friendly hop. Braves have enjoyed facing New York. They're 5-1 against the Mets this year. They will have their hands full. deGrom, Matz, and Syndergaard, 3 of the 4 announced starters for Mickey Callaway's club. 1 up, 1 down for Suzuki, who singled in the second, and he too scored on the Flowers homer. The Phillies are scheduled to play Toronto today. Nick Williams had another pinch hit homer last night for Philadelphia. They beat Toronto 2-1. Sir Anthony Dominguez picked up the win. Today it's Jay Happ and Nick Pivetta. Happ off to a 6-3 start for the Blue Jays. Pivetta pitched great against Atlanta. He's 4-2. Suzuki. The heart was in it, but the hands weren't. And Sale has his 7th strikeout. And he set down 7 straight.
That was an interesting at bat for Kurt. First swing, he'd already made up his mind to swing on a breaking ball. And this one almost hit him, and he was already hacking away. Pulled the trigger too soon. See the wind whipping his uniform, wind blowing straight in to the hitter's face.
Line the other way by Ender. So that'll rattle around in the corner. Swihart will dig it out. Inciarte, who tried to bunt his last time up, this time drives one into the corner. A good sign against a left-handed pitcher for Inciarte. He's got a 2-base hit, and it brings up Tyler Flowers again.
Yeah, he was trying to bunt the runners over back in the second inning, and his teammate Tyler Flowers picked him up by hitting a 3-run homer. Pitch up. See how Ender's foot's already down? I mean, he just basically picked up his heel and put it down to be ready to go after Sale and put a good swing on that high pitch.
So let's see what Sale does with Flowers in round 2. Tyler's 3 for 3 with 2 homers against him. That first homer came July 8th, 2016 in Chicago. Mike Foltynewicz also pitched in that series. He pitched a beauty right before the All-Star break. Struck out 10 White Sox. What was a real coming out party for Foltynewicz, who's starting, of course, today as well. The pitch. No swing.
Started him with 2 straight sliders. Sale's last or only loss this year was at Oakland. And he went 7 innings, gave up three runs, and got beat 3-0. No support. He walked 1 and struck out 10. Lost.
Hang with him,
yeah.
Right? That's something Mike Foltynewicz knows a little bit about this year. Again, it's not oftentimes not how you pitch, but when. In the case of Sale, that game in Oakland was one of the wins. He's getting a wide strike zone.
Boy, Mike's certainly not getting that one.
The 1-2 pitch. Ender with a 2-out double. Leon was out of his crouch. Sale reacted. And that might be a makeup for what was called strike 2.
Might have been. He was trying to hold it there and go to the dugout at the same time.
So now Sale has to regroup. Braves trying to add to a 3-0 lead. And here it is. That one called a strike.
Tyler's saying it's the same pitch.
Well, if Foltynewicz gets those calls, everybody in Braves country will be happy. Sale got the call. He's got 8 strikeouts, but he's down 3 runs. Flowers had what seemed to be a very friendly and professional conversation with Manny Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, after, shall we say, a suspect strike zone resulted in him taking strike 3 to end the inning.
He's saying something to Tyler right now, like maybe a discussion of those 2 pitches. The one he called strike 3 wasn't even as good as the one that Sale complained about.
Well, if it's consistent for both teams, nobody can complain, but that was a real inconsistent zone that earned Sale his 8th strikeout. So let's see what Foltynewicz can do with Moreland, Pedroia, and Devers here in the 4th inning. First pitch, bouncing ball to Freeman. Sunday hop, easy play. 1 pitch, 1 out. Mike could use a few more of those. And here's Pedroia, who walked his first time up. It's great for the Red Sox, but I think good for the game of baseball to have guys like Pedroia come back and play at the highest level. This guy's been a real pro since coming to the Red Sox. Perennial all-star, gamer, plays every day, plays hard. Career 300 hitter.
Plays hard and hustles. You're right. It's from a Boston fan standpoint. Gotta love him. Mighty might.
11 opening day starts at second base. The streak that ended this year, the second longest such run in club history. Bobby Doerr did it 13 times. The only other player with a longer streak was Carl Yastrzemski, who started 12 straight years in left. And he signed through the 2021 season. Two-time world champion with Boston. And he drives that one toward Acuña in right. And that ball started to die near the warning track, but Ronald stayed with it. And a quick second out for Foltynewicz.
Yeah, he didn't hit it very well. A little inside out swing, and then the wind started pushing it too. Bonus played good defense on this road trip, left and right.
Devers a big dude, 6 feet tall, 237 pounds. Boston signed him as an international free agent 5 years ago. He certainly made a splash in his first 20 big league games last year. All he did, Joe, was pick up 28 hits, 8 homers, 16 RBIs, and hit .364.
It's a good start for a 20-year-old last year.
Whoa. The old get off me ball.
Well, the pitch before he tried to call time and didn't get it. And then that pitch looked like it was, I guess if he misses it, it's going to hit him in his back foot. He thought, so he's getting it out of the way.
Does not look all that comfortable against Mike Foltynewicz. Devers also played well in the postseason. A couple of homers in that division series against the Astros, including an inside the park home run. And he hit here at Fenway Park.
Another full count.
Hammered down the line and well out of play.
Went with a slider. He's trying to throw it for a strike, and in doing so kept it up a little bit. Not like the one that he was throwing at his back foot.
Tipped and caught. Inning over. Foltynewicz blows away the Red Sox in the fourth. The last of which was Tyler Flowers, and this was the pitch-by-pitch strike zone.
Good call. Not a good call. Could have gone either way, but he called it a ball. And this one was a wider call, and he made up for it. He rang Tyler up. That was quite possibly 3 missed calls in that sequence. Tyler got the worst of it. That last pitch was brutal.
Dansby Swanson struck out his first time. Sale sitting on 8 of them. Looking for his 57th double-digit strikeout game of his career. In fact, Sale has struck out 12 or more men in a game 30 times since 2012. The next closest is Clayton Kershaw, who's done it only, and I put only in quotation marks, 17 times. So the question I have for you is, why isn't Sale thought of or talked about nationally the same way that Clayton Kershaw has been, and justifiably so, for the Dodgers all these years?
Or Bumgarner.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't answer that. You put it in those types of terms, 30 versus 17 with 12 strikeouts or more. Wow.
And in this day and age, as Swanson takes ball 4, where the 200 inning man is going the way of the dodo bird, book Sale for 200 or more innings and 300 or more strikeouts. I mean, that's almost impossible, Joe, in this era of limited innings, pitch counts and the like. I mean, this guy truly is a throwback left-handed starting pitcher.
No question. Only Pedro Martinez has a season where he struck out more batters than Chris Sale.
An opening for Atlanta here. Leadoff walk. Let's see if the Braves can add to their 3-run lead. And that's in for a strike. I guess some of that might be because Sale pitched for the early years with the White Sox and they weren't particularly good. But still, Chicago's a major media market. But now here in Boston, and all the attention they get with the national broadcasts and their postseason luck, maybe some of that spotlight will start to shine on him. Sale with 96 career wins is a free agent, I believe, at the end of this year. There's a team option for the Red Sox, which almost certainly would be exercised. So he might be part of a big free agent class in 2020.
That's correct, on the contract.
0-2 pitch. And that one off the glove of Leon, and there's a break. Swanson moves up 90 feet.
Might be a pass ball. He was flinching. Leon was flinching like he was going to hit Charlie and ricochet and hit him, and he kind of blinked.
One ball, 2 strikes. I have a factoid on Charlie Culberson on the scoreboard that I didn't realize. Charlie is the grandson of Leon Culberson, who played for the Red Sox in 1943 through 1947. Check out Leon Culberson's numbers.
That's pretty good historical legacy for him to be able to come back and play here. That's the cool thing about this ballpark, though. There are generations coming back to the same place, on the same site, in the same stadium, and watching games just as their dads, granddads, maybe even great-grandfathers watched. 1912 opening day here.
Charlie's grandfather, Delbert Leon Culberson, an outfielder. Hit .266 during his big league career that also included a stint with the Washington Senators. 14 career homers. Played in the 1946 World Series and once hit for the cycle.
Standing.
He hit for the cycle on July 3rd, 1943. And it was a natural cycle. Line into right field. Bradley will play it on a hop, and it gets by him. And Dansby's going to be able to score. Culberson around second will slam on the brakes. Atlanta gets an add-on run. A rare defensive miscue by Jackie Bradley, and the Braves cash it in. It's 4-0.
He got caught in between, Chip. He was trying to come in and make the catch, of course. And then when he realized that he was not going to be able to get there, now he goes into defensive mode to try to make sure the ball doesn't get by him, and it certainly did, right between his legs. Bonus run.
You bet. That's been the problem for Atlanta. They've gotten the lead but couldn't add on against the Sox. They've added one here and a chance for more. 4-0 Atlanta with Ozzie Albies in the box. Scoring on that play for Culberson, a base hit. He advances to second, and Swanson scores on the error by Bradley and Wright.
No RBI?
No RBI.
No, that's not fair.
No balls, 2 strikes. That is bounced to second. And a close play at first. Productive out for Albies. Culberson to third, 1 out.
Great job. Great job behind in the count. He got a couple of tough calls against him to start that at bat, but didn't let it affect what he needed to do, and that's get the runner to third.
So now the key man in the inning is Ronald Acuña, who has struck out swinging twice. See if Ronald can make some hard contact and get that run home. And a shoot top high slider missed. 1 ball, no strikes. Right back our way and foul. So what a day for Charlie Culberson, getting a spot start, playing in Fenway Park where his grandpa used to play. And he's 90 feet away with a chance to score a 5th Atlanta run. It's fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One of the most infamous plays in Red Sox history involved Leon Culberson, when Enos Slaughter scored from first on a base hit to center, the winning run for the 1946 World Series for the Cardinals. A base hit to center. Dom DiMaggio had to come out of the game, so Leon Culberson played center. The relay throw to Johnny Pesky was slow to develop, and Slaughter slid home ahead of the tag. Didn't know that about Charlie's grandpa either. Three balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Good battle here with Acuña. He's getting some better cuts.
Still late on the fastball, though. Got to get that foot down and get after it like he did yesterday. Interesting, on the left side, they've got 2 infielders up on the near the edge of the grass, but they've got Bogart's back. Good swing there.
Here's a crazy question. At this stage in Acuña's career, could he just go with no stride?
That might be a little difficult at his early age to make that adjustment at this level. Shorten it, that's another thing. You could do that.
Look at a break on that pitch that almost hit him, and Acuña draws a walk. So Sale tried to get him to chase. He couldn't, and now Freddie Freeman, the batter, he's hit the ball hard twice, and now Sale will get a breather. a visit to the mound with runners at the corners.
Freddie Freeman, our Yellowwood, bringing the lumber. 7-game hitting streak. 0 for 2 today, but he's hit the ball hard twice. 367 average over that stretch. 11 for 30. One way that was used, the Red Sox get busy in their bullpen, because I had a tendency to overstride, was to put my heel in the ground, point my toe toward the pitcher, and draw a line that was roughly, a foot, 12 inches. And then in my head, mentally, I had a picture of not to step over that line, keep my stride shorter. That might be something that could help Acuña too.
So first and third for Freeman. Swing and a drive. That's walloped toward the bullpen. Nobody's getting that. That'll hop off the fence. 1 run scores. Here comes Acuña, streaking around third. Throw to the plate, late. Freddie to third, standing up, and the Braves have busted it wide open.
I thought that was getting out of here, but I think the wind must have stopped that one, Chip. That's going to end the day for Sale. How about that? The Braves have knocked him out. Breaking ball all over it. Just a matter of whether or not he's going to stay in the ballpark. It did, but by that much.
Well, Chris Sale had entered today's action, allowing 3 runs or less in all 11 starts this year. Corey Kluber of the Indians also had done that. That's by the boards. The Braves have tagged him for 6 runs, and they're not done here in the 5th. Well, this is more like it. Atlanta's jumped all over Chris Sale yet again. 6 runs, 5 hits, thanks to a Flowers 3-run homer and a Freddie Freeman 2-run triple.
This is Brian Johnson, 16th appearance of the year, a 5 ERA. A lot of strikeouts for him too, but oddly enough, even though he's left-handed, a .310 average by left-handed batters on the year against him. Only lefty in their bullpen. High 80s fastball, curve, slider, and a few changeups.
And he is not tiny, a 6'3", 249-pound relief pitcher out of Cocoa Beach, Florida. And a former Florida Gator. Nick Markakis will greet him. Infield in for Boston. And a ground ball hit right to the shortstop. No chance for an advance there. That move defensively saved a run. 2 outs. So how about the Braves? They clobber Sale for the 2nd time. He had 7 starts this year, allowing 1 or fewer earned runs, and the Braves were all over him today.
He walked 3 guys, Chip, and all 3 scored.
Including Charlie Culberson, who had a base hit this 5th inning. Kurt Suzuki 1 for 2.
He walked 3 in his second start of the year at Miami. Got a no decision. And Sale walked 4 against Oakland at home 2 starts ago, but still picked up the win.
A ball and a strike. And it's fouled away twice at the plate, but only counts as 1 strike. 1-2 for Kurt. Mentioned Brian Johnson played with the Gators from 2010 through 2012. Also played first base. As a junior, was a finalist for the John Olerud Two-Way Player of the Year award. The pitch. And a ground ball deep short. Bogaerts gives ground, surrounds, fires to first, and got his man by a half step. Another productive inning for Atlanta. They played 3 more runs off Chris Sale and enjoy a 6-0 lead in the Fens.
Then will you sane? Then an off day, followed by rain. Back will come spawn, followed by sane, and followed, we hope, by 2 days of rain.
Braves Field still exists in its present form here in Boston, Mass.
Campus of Boston University.
Franchise then moved on to Milwaukee, then of course to Atlanta as Foltynewicz just got a break. Check swing roller, and that takes care of Nunez. There's out number 1. Foltynewicz now with a 6-run lead. As you see, Nickerson Field at Boston University, all the turnstiles still there.
Spawn and Sane and Pray for Rain is where it started. It's where the Babe hit his last homer.
And with the popularity of the Red Sox, the Boston Braves just weren't as attractive a draw, and they made their way to Milwaukee, where I think in their first 2 weeks of homestands had outdrawn the full season total of attendance for the Boston Braves in their final season. Pretty remarkable.
Great fans in Milwaukee, always have been.
Well, this is where you really want to see Mike Foltynewicz just keep the foot on the gas pedal. He can pound the strike zone, and he's got a huge lead, and he's got the second out. This is rarefied air for Mike. I mean, so many starts this year, Joe. He's gotten 2 or fewer runs, and he's ended up either with a no decision or a loss, not because he's pitched poorly, but as we've said with regards to Sale, when he's pitched, not how.
Well, just think of what this does for him. It allows him to really pound the strike zone. He doesn't have to try to pick and poke at different corners or try to trick a guy on different counts. He can just go right after everyone.
Next up is Sandy Leon, who struck out. And the other side of the game within the game is look at what's ahead for the Braves. Doubleheader tomorrow. Quick turnaround after the long flight back from Boston this evening. Every out he can get, every inning he can get is one that Brian Snitker can use tomorrow against the New York Ball Club. Two balls and a strike. Bogart's hit into a double play in the third inning. That has started a run of 6 straight batters retired. Leon hopes to end that. Fultonevich hopes to get him out. Culberson foul ground near the screen, will not have the play. And the count now 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fultonevich has 6 strikeouts. He is through 5 with a shutout at Fenway Park. He's a man on a mission. The Braves are going to face on that homestand. You've got DeGrom, you've got Matz, you've got Syndergaard, Scherzer, and Strasburg, I'm sure, are lurking for the Nationals. As the first pitch to Ender is lifted into left field, Blake Swihart is there and makes the catch for out number 1. The only question left today is a couple of them. 1, can the Braves finish off the Red Sox? And 2, can Toronto beat the Phillies and allow Atlanta to leapfrog back into first? Right now, Toronto's up 2-0. in the third inning at Citizens Bank.
I'll be anxious to see how far Mike Fultonevich can pitch in this game too. He had a quick inning there in the 5th. Doesn't have to hit, doesn't have to run the bases.
Cool afternoon.
And can go right after him.
Big blow in the game from Tyler Flowers. A 3-run lightning bolt over the monster. And he hits another shot down the left field line. It's the first hop we've seen off that fence. Fair or foul in the series.
Got a fastball inside from Sale and was ready for it. Got those hips cleared and barreled it. Hit it over the screen back there. 412 feet, the estimated tail of the tape.
I'm surprised Safe Flight doesn't have an ad on the Green Monster. There's a parking lot back there. The number of balls that go over the Monster. How many windshields get broken a year here?
That was not the first home run hit here today. They had an old timers game before the game. First in many years for Boston. Pedro Martinez was pitching for one of the Red Sox teams. And Julio Lugo took him deep in the first inning. Hit one up there in the monster seats. Pedro he took his glove off to throw it at him as he was running the bases, but held up.
Julio Lugo, a former Brave.
Scored a historic run at Turner Field.
That's right.
Or did he?
Well, with an asterisk, as Flowers walks with one out. He got a huge ovation when they announced all the old timers. Pedro was the last man announced. Oh, and Julio admired it too.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the old Pedro might not have liked that quite so much if it was a real game.
Got a quick shot of Louis Tiant, who was here too.
Jim Rice was here, among others. Love those old timer games. And it wasn't a softball game, folks. They were playing baseball. Great. Dansby has struck out, walked, and scored today. And he took a shot at the wall in left. Swihart drifts back. And he and Benintendi almost misplayed that.
Wind, telling you. Wind's blowing in at about 18 miles an hour, and it started shipping it over toward the line. And this guy Johnson, kind of, a lot of guys hide the baseball, make it hard to pick up. This guy looks like he's just kind of showing it to you as he's laying it in there.
Ace hit for Charlie Culberson. And he smokes one toward left again, but Swihart will make a chest-high catch. Nothing doing in the Atlanta sixth. Foltynewicz back to work with a shutout. innings. We hope will be in the offing. He's already got 5 under his belt.
And 2 of those 3 walks came in the 2nd inning when he struck out the side. But last inning, 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Quick inning. He's at 70 pitches. Very manageable.
Bradley will be the first Boston hitter. And he bangs the first one to second. Easy out. 1 down. Mike had some interesting body language after that pitch was delivered. I'm not sure if he was unhappy with location or selection, but he got the out. He was kind of flopping around as he bounced off the mound to the right side in the direction of that batted ball.
Just saving himself some steps. Thought he was going to have to cover.
1 out, top of the order, Benintendi. And low and away, ball 1. Longest outing of the year for Mike is 6 innings. He's done that 3 times this year, including his last start. In fact, counting today's work, Mike has gone 21 innings and has allowed 1 earned run. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and he pitched well in Philadelphia. Deserved better. He only gave up 5 hits in 6 innings and 1 run, walked 2, struck out 5, and lost. The 1 run he allowed was a homer.
2 balls and a strike for Benintendi. He fouls it away. As we told you, Mike has been excellent on the road. He's got the 2nd lowest road ERA in the National League. Jacob deGrom is first with a 165 mark. We'll see deGrom tomorrow afternoon. And now a full count. High fly ball wallop. That's high off the monster. So there's the first Boston hit. Benintendi slides in with a double. He made him hit it. Benintendi did. And he's at second with 1 out.
It was hit so high off the wall it took a while to come down. Nick was in good position to play it off the wall and actually caught it barehanded on that high hop. But by that time, Benintendi, who runs well, was in there.
He almost hit the X right in the middle. I mean, it was been perfect targetry for Benintendi. So Bogaerts the hitter. Bogaerts has struck out and hit into a double play. Boston beginning its 3rd trip through the lineup. Another rarity in today's era. You don't see a pitcher face a lineup 3 times, a starting pitcher that is, all that often anymore.
Mike got a little bit of a hurry there. He did a double check of Benintendi, but after the 2nd quick look, he was already coming to the plate with a short step. Rushed it a little bit. 2nd inning was the inning where he walked 2 guys, but he struck out the side.
After the quick out of Bradley, 2 deep counts to Benintendi and Bogarts. Moreland waiting on deck. This is a quick strike Boston offense. They've hit 76 home runs as a club, including 5 this series. Tied him up.
Still got some gas. They had a little late movement to it too.
Lined and caught at second by Ozzie. What a grab. That saved a run. And I think Ozzie's surprised he caught it.
It was almost like his arm was frozen out there. Positioned perfectly, and then the ball was slicing a little bit. Foltynewicz was helping him jump. Well, he got up too. Ozzie's glove must be really loosely strung, because it looks like the ball almost goes through his glove just about every hard line drive.
So 2 are out, and here's Moreland. Strike 1. Benintendi has the lone Boston hit.
He's been impressive this series. First look at him. He's got a quick bat, can handle a fastball.
Looking for the heat, got the curve instead. 1-2.
Yeah, that was nice. Took a little off. Moreland with a double, triple, and a homer in the series. So does Benintendi.
Line drive to right. That's going to get down for a run-scoring hit. The ball gets by Acuña, and Moreland will chug into third. Boston's on the board at 6-1.
3 hard hit balls in the inning. 4 if you want to count the sharp ground ball hit by Jackie Bradley Jr. This one was elevated and tomahawked by Moreland, and then the trouble in their right field corner as the ball gets by Acuña. He was over to try and cut it off, but once it hit the padding, it shot around him. It's not like just wait till it stops rolling and go pick it up, but it's pretty close in that corner.
So the Red Sox have their first run. Moreland now at third base for Pedroia, who's looking for his first hit of the season.
Second triple of the season, second triple of the series for Moreland.
Pedroia's walked and lined out. Strike 1. Put him away here. Don't give him any more hope. And then get the Braves bats back in action. The top of the order is coming up in the 7th.
I'm with you, Chip. The quicker you get out of this inning and get your bats up there, the better you're going to feel about it if you're Foltynewicz.
Acuña in right. Roundabout route, made the basket catch at the knees. That was an adventure. Boston gets a double, a triple in their first run. We go to the 7th.
Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. And by Delta Airlines.
Braves have knocked out Chris Sale, trying to add on here in the top of the 7th inning. It's the Braves 6, Boston 1 in our finale at Fenway. 55 degrees at first pitch as we approach the 3 o'clock hour locally. Top of the Atlanta order, Albies, Acuña, and Freddie Freeman are coming up. High fly ball toward left. Back goes Swihart to the track, and the wind got a hold of it, knocked it down.
No doubt about it. That was a home run yesterday.
So one away for Acuña, who walked and scored ahead of Freddie's triple.
That's 3 straight hard-hit balls to left field off of Johnson that Swihart was able to make the catch. Charlie Culberson hit a rope out there to end the 6th.
There's a good pitch. The stretch is coming up after the Braves are through here in the 7th. Rebecca Capel and Brian Jordan will update us on the goings on in big league baseball today. Braves are hoping Toronto can knock off the Phillies, and that Miami can come back against Washington. The pitch sharply hit into the shift. Bogarts it short. Long throw, and that cost him. He beat it out. And Acuña tumbles at the first base bag, and hopefully he's all right.
No. I didn't see him leap at the bag. Looked like he ran right through it.
Braves training staff is out to talk to Acuña, and they're looking at his left leg.
Looked like it's something that happened perhaps after he crossed the base. This is, watch his left leg. This was after he crossed the bag. Right there. That's ugly. Reminds me of Bryce Harper. Jose Castro out to help in terms of communication to find out where he's hurting, what's going on. Both the Boston staff and, of course, George and Frosty out there for the Braves. That's amazing. And he's standing. Oh, my goodness.
And he's walking ever so gingerly.
At age 20, maybe that's what the difference is. Because you're safe, and then they just, boy, oh boy.
I don't know what you call it, hyperextended, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
And that he is able to walk off the field is beyond remarkable.
That is miraculous. Boy, oh boy.
He is limping, understandably so. And Acuña is going to have to come out of the ball game after he legs out an infield hit. And we will hope for certainly the best for a scene here in Boston that could have been, oh, so much worse.
Remember that play that Harper did virtually the same thing, stepping on the bag funny? I can't believe what I'm seeing.
I am too. I'm shocked he's able to walk off under his own power. So Preston Tucker is going to come on and pinch run for Acuña, who injured his left knee crossing the bag. That looks like a classic hyperextended knee. And he will be examined by the Braves medical staff here at Fenway Park. And if we get more word, we'll pass it along before we leave air. One on, one out. Freddie Freeman, the batter. And out of play, foul.
Preston Tucker, if you want to get loose, if it's obvious that you're going to have to come in and pinch run, there's no place to run here unless you do it on the field, other than just running back and forth to the clubhouse in a real narrow tunnel.
Freeman rolls over. That's hit to Pedroia at second. Runner 2 second, 2 outs. Nick Markakis, the batter, with a chance to get that Boston run right back here in the 7th.
Braves are getting some good swings off of Johnson. They just haven't been able to cross the plate. Even the ground balls he got in the 5th inning when he came in relief of Sale were hard hit.
Atlanta faced 3 lefty starters in this series and scored 13 runs off of them. There's been an excellent team hitting against lefties this year. And Nick Markakis has been right in the middle of that. Nick has 69 hits this year. That's tied for most in the majors. Number 70 could bring home Tucker and add to the lead. Line on a short hop to Bogarts. And his throw to first is on the line. And that retires the side. Ronald Acuña injured, legging out an infield hit. He walked off under his own power. We'll hope for the best, Braves country, as Atlanta leads 6-1 as we send you to Atlanta and the stretch. Takes over for Ronald Acuña in left field. If you missed it a moment ago, legging out an infield hit as Markakis moves from left to right. Ronald appeared to hyperextend his knee, crossing the first base bag on an infield hit, and was able to walk off, believe it or not, without assistance.
That looks so bad. Somehow, some way, young body able to absorb it and walk off the field.
So Mike Foltynewicz back to work. Big inning for him. He's got a 5-run lead. He's thrown over 60% of his pitches 95 miles an hour or higher today. He's thrown 92 pitches. And he's gotten Devers on strikes twice. Atlanta has a doubleheader tomorrow. It would be great to see Mike take this thing to the finish line if he can do it. He'll need a few easy outs to get there. But he has had excellent command of his fastball. Has had a few walks. That slider's been a nice weapon too. Looking for his 7th strikeout in the game.
No walk since the 3rd inning.
And that was quickly erased on a double play ball. Toronto's still beating the Phillies 2-0 in the 5th inning. Mets 4-1 over Milwaukee in the 3rd. Nationals are shutting out Miami in the 6th, 3-zip. Here it's 6-1 Braves. They hammered Chris Sale for 6 runs.
Look how far that pitch was outside at 98, and Devers got a piece of it. They've worked him away because he can't seem to lay off that pitch. That certainly would have been ball 3.
Fly ball left center. Ender going back. That one's high off the wall. Played well by Inciarte. His throw towards second is off the mark. And Devers earns a leadoff double to start the 7th inning.
Well, there was a reason they were working him away. That's because he can handle anything middle in. This target was middle in, down the middle and up out of the plate, and he hit it hard. And the wind didn't knock that one down.
So here's Nunez 0 for 2. He is struck out and he's bounced back to the mound. And these Red Sox just swing hard, swing for the fences, try to lift and separate and get back quickly. As A.J. Minter gets ready in the Atlanta pen. Ken Foltynewicz has not gotten an out in the 7th inning this year. Trying to get Nunez here to take care of that statistic.
He had a long sitting spell before this half inning started as they tended to Acuña. And then with God Bless America and Take Me Out to the Ball Game and all the other breaks that take place in the 7th.
That's popped up. Freddie says he's got it, and he does. And Foltynewicz has his first 7th inning out of the year. And Swihart, the batter, he's walked and bounced out. It's pretty amazing with Mike's stuff that in his previous 10 starts he has but 3 quality starts, and that the Braves are 3-7 in games in which he has pitched. A lot of that, again, the product of whom he has been matched up with. But for him to get to that elite level that a lot of people think he can be, he's got to have more games like this one where he takes the game into the 7th and beyond a time or 2.
Agreed. Little meeting on the mound that involved Swanson. This had to, I'm sure, involve signs. Perhaps they felt like they needed to change their signs with that runner at second.
Braves are charged a mound visit. As Swihart getting the start in left field for Boston. A late change with Mookie Betts out with some side tightness. It's also a break when you get baseball's leading hitter out of the lineup. It's the fate of the Red Sox in Game 3 today.
Yeah, we don't know if he's available to pinch hit.
.107 pitches is Mike's season high. That was number 103, and what makes him so special, it's still coming in at 97 miles an hour. Swing and a miss. 98. And 7 strikeouts for Mike. 2 away.
And his first since he got Leon to end the 5th. Upstairs.
Guessing it looks like a beach ball but moves like a BB. At that elevation, and he's an out away from pitching 7 one-run innings in Boston. Leon has struck out twice. He's done that a couple of times effectively in this game.
Yeah, and a couple of times to Leon. Dropped a curveball on him on the first pitch. Boy, that dirt in front of home plate, between home plate and the mound, that must be really soft. It looks like craters out there in that sand, doesn't it?
NASA practices their moon landings there in between innings. Holy smokes. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That is deep. Mercy. That'll soften a few ground balls.
Two balls, 1 strike. Great pitch. So 109. How about 110 and a pat on the back for Foltynewicz right here?
That would be great. Just saw him do a little stretching like his back was a little stiff.
The 2-2. Wow.
Boy, oh boy.
Throw it there again.
Nice job by Tyler.
A little low, I suppose. Full count. Leon lucky to make contact on that nasty delivery at 98. Another full count. Jackie Bradley Jr. is on deck, the 9th place hitter for the Red Sox. The pitch. A little dribbler will skip foul at third base.
That means he's got to throw at least one more pitch, but that's okay. The Braves have been haunted by enough swinging bunts in this road trip. And he should have been over.
Mike's allowed two or fewer earned runs in 9 of 10 games. He's been dazzling on the road all year long. He's been terrific today. Braves gave him 3 second-inning runs, 3 more in the 5th, and he has rolled through a red-hot Boston lineup. Ground ball to second should end the inning. The throw to first. It's 7 strong for Mike Foltynewicz at Fenway Park. Atlanta in command, 6-1 in Game 3. Finish, Sale versus Foltynewicz, and the Braves wailed away.
Tyler Flowers, his old catcher, wailed away on him with a 3-run homer in the second inning. Gave Mike Foltynewicz an early lead, and he went to work. The Braves started adding on, something they hadn't been able to do in this series prior to today. They put 3 more on the board in the 5th inning, and Foltynewicz leads 6-1. Acuña left the game in the 7th inning. That's cause for great concern because of the way he fell at first base. Appeared to injure his left leg, but walked off under his own power, which was truly amazing. Freddie Freeman extending his hitting streak to 8 games. And how about this? We're talking about that area in front of home plate. Watch this ball come off Leon's bat and hit in the sandbox. God. That ball was hit sharply and deadened right there.
You could turn an ankle just walking out there.
Well, they dragged the infield. You'd think they'd kind of come out and rake that a little bit.
Man, oh man. This is Hector Velasquez. Might want to call him the Vulture. 5-0 in relief for the Red Sox. And he delivers a strike to Kurt Suzuki.
Velasquez pitched yesterday, 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 2 hits, but no runs. Gave up Pomerantz's runs.
3 of those 5 wins for Velasquez in relief. He made 2 starts in April, and he just gave up a shot into the corner from Kurt Suzuki. He's going to hustle into second base with a double, a 2-hit game for Kurt.
More runs would be appreciated, I'm sure. A little sinker there that Kurt stayed with. Got it over Nunez's head.
So that's the old too high Nunez play for Kurt Suzuki, who's at second for Ender, who doubled in the corner back in the 4th. Ender 1 for 3. Up and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Fly ball to center. Benintendi has it measured up. And 1 out. After our game, the Braves return home tonight. Get ready for a Memorial Day doubleheader tomorrow against the Mets. Our Memorial Day coverage starts at 12:30 with Braves Live. It's brought to you by Coors Light. Jacob deGrom and Max Fried will work in Game 1. Brandon McCarthy will pitch against a yet-to-be-named Mets starter in Game 2.
Well, Milwaukee's come back and tied up the Mets 4-4. They're only in the third inning, so the Mets are going to have to go through their bullpen again today.
That's Zach Wheeler and Julius Chassin. Chassin's 3-1 for the Brewers.
Pitched well.
Hitting star for Atlanta today, Tyler Flowers. Who apparently has unlocked the secret to Chris Sale. 3 career hits, 2 home runs against his former battery mate with the White Sox. At the knees, split the plate. Ball and 2 strikes. The Sunday night game tonight is the Giants at Wrigley Field. Tough day for the Cubs. They've got to play the Giants at home, travel overnight to Pittsburgh, and play a 1 o'clock game tomorrow. Brutal.
How is that allowed?
I don't know.
Who's minding the store in the Major League office that lets that happen?
2 outs. Suzuki still at second. Swanson the hitter.
Splitter. That's what Suzuki hit, and Tyler unable to. That was a better pitch.
Cubs start play a half game behind the Pirates and Cardinals, who trail Milwaukee by 4 games. In the National League Central, the American League Central continues to be the, shall we say, division of doom. Nobody above 500. Think about it this way: Detroit, in what has been called a rebuild year, right? They've torn it down with the exception of Miguel Cabrera and Victor Martinez. The Detroit Tigers are 7 games under 500 and are 3.5 games out of first place.
Well, there's seasons to tank and there's seasons not to tank.
Well, they might have the best of both worlds if that holds up, and they're winning again today. The real unfair part of that is what's happening in the American League Central affects the National League Central, and by extension the National League East when it comes to a potential wild card situation. The National League Central is 23-14 against the American League Central.
So that boosts all of those very mediocre teams' records.
Correct. The National League East is 9-7 against the AL East. And so if the division races in the East and National League Central stay tight, you're talking about a huge potential advantage for the Cardinals, Pirates, and Cubs, as opposed to the Phillies, Atlanta, Washington, and Mets, who have to play the Yankees and Red Sox.
Braves have played 4 interleague games. Today's the 5th. How many of the Pirates played?
163.
Yeah.
Pirates are 10-2
in interleague play.
Correct. And remember, they started the year with 2 interleague matchups back-to-back in Detroit, and I think they went home and played Minnesota.
Correct.
And Pittsburgh's only, and I use only in quotation marks, 5 games over 500. So most of that work's come against the weak AL Central. 3-2 pitch. Fouled away.
Good swing.
See more good swings from Dansby these last couple of games after he came back from the wrist injury.
Yeah, Brian Jordan was talking about that on Braves Live this morning about I guess it's fairly obvious that his wrist is feeling so much better. He's swinging the bat well. Good hack there.
Got word from Jonathan Kerber, the official word on Ronald Acuña. Jonathan, the Braves PR man with the club here in Boston. Ronald Acuña Jr. left today's game due to knee and lower back pain. That's the official PR word.
Well, all I can say is hallelujah. I don't know how bad the knee and back pain are, but it looked a whole lot better than it was going to.
Those spots hurt me just watching the replay. The pitch is outside, good at bat for Swanson. So that'll continue the inning. Charlie Culberson will be the hitter. If you're just joining us, here's the injury. Acuña legging out an infield hit in the Braves' 7th. Beat the play at first. And then that.
It looked so much worse. Unable to walk off under his own power. I'm sure he's not out of the woods yet, but let's take that as a positive sign, being able to walk off.
Charlie singled and scored in the 5th inning. And he hits this one to Pedroia at second. He goes to a knee to surround the baseball, and that is that for Atlanta in the 8th. Braves strand a pair, but lead by 5. Appreciation Month brought to you by Coors Light. If you haven't seen our telecasts earlier in the weekend here in Boston, that is the scene at the Boston Common, a somber sight representing the, was it 38,000? 37,000 Massachusetts natives who have fallen in America's military campaigns.
From the Revolutionary War to present.
Remarkable.
Yeah, beautiful thing. This is A.J. Minter on to pitch for Atlanta. Foltynewicz goes 7 strong innings. Minter has not pitched in this series. Last worked at Philadelphia on the 22nd, an inning, 2 hits, no walks or runs, and had a strikeout. 3-0 with a good 2.70 ERA.
Jackie Bradley Jr. leads off, and Minter delivers a strike. Toronto's extended their lead in Philadelphia 4-0. Go Jays go. 3 scores hold. Braves will leapfrog past the Phillies and back into first. Atlanta had first place to themselves for about a month. In fact, Atlanta's out of first for the first time since May the 2nd. But a great outing against Chris Sale for Mike Foltynewicz, and 6 Braves runs. And a line drive into right. That'll be played on a hop by Markakis. And Minter gives up a single to the left-hand hitting Jackie Bradley to start inning number 8.
Fastball down and away. Nice swing there by Jackie Bradley. Only the 5th hit allowed to a left-handed batter by Minter. They're 5 for 25.
So Benintendi, the batter, he's doubled, scored, walked, and lined out. In reverse order today. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. The Yankees are beating the Angels. That game's in the 5th inning in the Bronx, 3-0. Boston's lead over New York in the AL East at the moment stands at 2 games. Lifted toward left. First chance for Tucker. Near the line. Wind pushing that toward the wall, and he makes the grab in foul ground. He's going to heave the ball back toward first, and Bradley fortunate to get back. Super play by Preston Tucker, who hasn't been out in the field in a long while.
Well, Laz Diaz gave us a little deep too. Third base umpire, he signaled fair, then he signaled foul. And that wind again, shoving it toward the stands. Nice play by Preston, who hasn't been out there in a while, let alone in left field at Fenway Park.
So 1 on, 1 out for Xander Bogaerts. The Red Sox shortstop is 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a double play ball. That skipped up there. 2-0. By my count, the last time Preston Tucker played in the field for the Braves was May the 5th. He came on late in the game when the Giants were thumping Atlanta 11-2 at SunTrust Park. He replaced Nick Markakis. Almost 3 weeks without any defensive action for Tucker until today. That was not an easy play.
No, it wasn't, especially with the wind playing with it.
Mitch Moreland is on deck. Minter's gone 3-0 to Bogaerts.
Easy way to get him back in the ball game is free passes.
Yeah, it's a 5-run lead. Got to throw strikes, especially with this part of the lineup. Moreland's shown he can hit lefties. And he's got a triple and a run scored today. And so Atlanta's pen will have to start jogging around, and somebody might have to get up here.
And when the phone rings, everybody starts moving. And it's been a cold day.
Moreland was trying to hit one out and fouled it away.
I haven't seen any spray charts on Mitch Moreland, but I would guess that there are hardly any lines drawn left of second base. Seeing Carl getting ready.
Dansby trying to keep Bradley close at second base. The pitch. Split the plate.
He does not appear to like the ball inside. He's taken a lot of strikes like that in the 3-game series, but he likes the ball out of the way where he can get his arms extended. Hits by direction for dominant number to right field, but I would have to have seen those to left. I don't believe it.
No balls, 2 strikes. And down and away.
I think the key that we've just learned here on the third day is to get him to hit the ball straight down into the sand in front of the sandbox in front of home plate. That's where you want him to hit it.
Called out on a check swing strikeout. Whew. On the appeal, Minter gets Moreland down on strikes. Thank you very much. So the inning rests in the hands of Dustin Pedroia for Boston.
That was Laz Diaz. He got beat up yesterday behind the plate. He took a lot of foul tips. I'm curious. I don't know the rule on this, Chip, with regard to a doubleheader where you can add a 26th man now.
Right.
Does that one man have to fill that need for 2 games, or can you switch your 26th man in between games?
Yeah, I don't know that. That's a good question. If it's a non-split doubleheader, there's just one guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm asking that question too. If the split doubleheader makes it different.
1 ball, 1 strike. Popped up out of play.
Obviously tomorrow, if Max Fried is pitching game 1, he could be that 26th guy where you don't have to make a roster move. But then once he pitches, can you option him back and add another guy?
Don't know. Whether or not the Braves have to make another move depends on the status of Ronald Acuña too.
True.
He got hurt in the 7th inning today. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chilly day at Fenway. The Braves bats have been hot. Pitch. He swung and missed. And that'll do it. Minter comes back after giving up a hit and a walk with a pair of strikeouts. And we head to the 9th.
Atlanta Braves baseball is sponsored by Sherwin-Williams, your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
about the 26th man tomorrow for the doubleheader versus the Mets. Brian Snitker told us before the game today that this 26th man can be used in both games. So it would make more sense for that 26th man to maybe be a relief pitcher or a position player or somebody that they can use in both of those games tomorrow. So we do expect potentially another roster move along with the addition of Max Fried to start game 1, guys.
Kelsey, thank you very much.
Thanks, Kelsey.
And my understanding is that once you choose that 26th man, it cannot be changed in between games. So that person would have to serve a role for both games of the doubleheader. Foul back. Ozzie today 0 for 4 at the plate, but he made a terrific leaping catch defensively. To Rob Xander Bogaerts of a hit back in the 6th inning. Albies hit the ball real hard in the 7th inning, but the wind got it. Otherwise, he might have had a home run. And he's down on strikes for the 3rd time today. So Velasquez has his 2nd strikeout. Luis Vizcaíno looks to get some 9th inning work, as Preston Tucker is the hitter. He's batting for Acuña, who left in the 7th. Fouled away for a strike.
This is not a pinch hit appearance for Tucker, but kind of like one. Came into pinch run, played in the field, and now gets one at bat.
And a line drive into left field.
Half away. Get one at bat, get that knock. Little inside out swing here on a high pitch.
Freddie Freeman with a 2-run triple highlights his day. 4th hit in the series. As Joe mentioned, Freddie now with an 8-game hitting streak that he'll take into action tomorrow afternoon at SunTrust. One ball, no strikes.
Still playing Freddie to pull. They've shifted on him the whole series. Still gets his hits. He had a rocket to right center. His big hit of the day to extend his hitting streak, almost hit a homer. And that was off Sale, and that ended Sale's day.
Freddie takes ball 4. Well, on a day when Boston was hoping Sale could go the distance, Atlanta got him at 60% off, as you suggested. He only went 4 1/3 today. And the Braves try to add on in the 9th. Braves have scored 90 runs from the 7th inning on this year. How demoralizing that must be for an opponent when Your setup guys come in and the Braves racky tack them all over the yard. Hope that'll continue today and against the Mets. We've had some starting and relief issues in the last several weeks. Remember, the Mets started the year 11-1.
Another missed call from the home plate umpire, who's had a really rough day. Didn't think he's Manny from Modern Family. But nope, that's Gonzalez.
1 ball, 1 strike. Braves 6 runs on 8 hits. Boston a run on 4 hits.
Nick needs a hit to extend his hitting streak to 9 games.
Look at the flagpole in left center field. It's just very gently flapping in the breeze. You look down on the field, you see the uniform pants of Velasquez. You see the pants legs of the umpire. They are blowing briskly.
And the umpires have allowed the pitchers to blow on their hands too.
There's a bounding ball right side. Moreland's going to go to second. That's all Boston gets. They force Freddie Freeman. Runners are at first and third. 2 outs. And one more chance for Kurt Suzuki to add to a productive day. He's got a pair of hits, a second inning single, and a run scored. He led off the 8th with a double. Ground ball deep short. Bogarts will get it. He'll jump throw to second. It's too late. An infield hit brings home the 7th Atlanta run. 3 hits for Kurt Suzuki, and his 19th RBI brings home Tucker. Look what happens when you put the ball in play.
Good hustle by Nick too. When they're not holding you at first, that gives you a little bit of room too to take off. And that was a difference here to beat that throw to second base.
So an add-on run for Atlanta brings up Ender, who has a 4th inning double. He's lined out once. That was on a bunt. And he's flied out twice. And many of the Boston faithful start to head for home, where they hope the Celtics have better luck tonight than the Red Sox. Swing and a drive. That's hammered toward the Bermuda Triangle. And Benintendi tracks it down. Can't hit it any harder than that. Look at Ender looking skyward, asking for answers. Benintendi with a great catch robs him of an extra base hit and maybe 2 RBIs. Atlanta, though, adds a 7th run and needs 3 more outs during a win in Beantown.
Sponsored by your local Ford dealer, the Georgia Lottery, and by the All-South Highway Safety Team. The All-South Highway Safety Team reminds you to play it safe by always wearing your seatbelt.
Gray skies in Boston, but they're sunny and blue for Braves country. Atlanta leading the Red Sox 7-1 after 8.5. And a chance for Arodys Vizcaíno to stay in tune. He'll come on and try to get 3 outs and send Atlanta home to start the double dip against the Mets tomorrow.
9 out of 11 in saves. He hasn't worked in 5 days, so he's going to get a chance to knock off a little rust right here in advance of the doubleheader. Hopefully it will be a short inning.
Devers leads off. Devers has struck out twice and has doubled. He's trying to get out of town with a win here in Boston, which has been a really tough place to win in recent years. Braves have lost 17 of their last 22 games at Fenway Park, but lead today by 6.
Braves scored 6 runs yesterday, and it wasn't enough. And that last 2-run hit they took yesterday in the 7th inning, after the inning started on that error by Albies, turned out to be huge.
It did. Every Braves pitcher who worked yesterday, except for Lucas Sims, gave up at least a run. Got a piece of Tyler on the way by, but he's all right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boston won game 1 6-2. They hit 4 homers. As Atlanta jumped out 2-0 behind Julio Teheran. Julio gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. Sean Newcomb didn't have it yesterday, his first game back here in Boston. He was a high school star. Freeman at first takes care of Devers for the first out. But today it was Mike Foltynewicz on the mound. 7 innings for the first time this year of 3 hit, 1-run ball. And for Mike now it's 10 out of 11 starts where he's allowed 2 earned runs or less. And he'll push his record to 4 and 3 on the year. Here's Nunez. Ball 1. No swing. Red Sox have Toronto next. Braves are big Toronto fans today. They're beating the Phillies 4-0 in the 6th. 2 more outs. Atlanta will pull into a tie with Philadelphia. If Toronto wins, they'll be back in first going home. Mets in Milwaukee 4-4 in the 5th. I think it's safe to say the Braves hope that one goes about 19 innings today.
Strasburg having a good day today in Miami. They don't have any runs across. 5-0 Washington in the 7th.
Popped up and right at Ozzie, who drifts back. He says he's got it, and the Braves are an out away. Blake Swihart, the final hope for the Red Sox faithful. Boston has yet to lose to a National League opponent. Braves are not away from handing them #1 today. And Atlanta does have a series left with the Red Sox later this summer. They'll be in Atlanta September 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Labor Day.
And now the Braves are a strike away.
Well, it would have been easy to cash it in today, losing the first 2 games of the series and having to face Chris Sale, and you got to be really proud of the way the Braves took it to Sale today. The 3-run homer by Tyler Flowers was gigantic. It loosened everybody up, and they finish on a good note.
Vizcaino strikes out Swihart, and the Braves beat the Red Sox 7-1. Braves are back in first.